All right, guys, there's a lot of news out there today, but I want to focus on what I think is the most important news for UTSA, and that is U of H choosing Willie Fritz over Jeff Traylor. They announced Willie Fritz, who's the coach at Tulane. They announced him as the head coach today, and I am really, really happy about that because UTSA, as a result, gets to keep Jeff Traylor. I think UTSA supporters and just us in general have learned a lot with this over these last couple of weeks while all of the news was circulating about the interviews and, other schools want him and to A&M and all this stuff. I think there was a lot of lessons to be learned. I also think it's a warning shot to those folks who are around the program that are trying to keep him there. Hey, listen, if you want to keep Jeff Traylor, that man needs his resources, period. If he's not able to get what he deem is sufficient enough resources for to give him a chance or give him the opportunity that he feels he needs to be able to compete with other teams in the conference, with NIL stuff, with practice facilities, with all the stuff that goes into having a great football team. If he does not get that stuff, he will look elsewhere and leave. I think that's a huge wake-up call, and we got lucky that he didn't leave this time, and that the folks now are sort of on a clock. Like, now that you know that he will interview with folks and leave, you guys got to really do everything you can to give him his resources. Also, folks as supporters, hey, if there's not a better time, there's no better time than now to donate. That's what that is. There's no better time than now to donate. We want to keep this coach. We want to keep him happy. And we want to make sure that the players are getting what they need as well so we can continue to be a good football team. But I will touch on one thing on the U of H hiring of Willie Fritz. I think it's actually a really good thing for them if I'm being just completely objective. I'm going to go on a little tangent and talk about U of H here. But if you just look at their situation, they are at the Big 12 now. They're in the Big 12 now. And if you're going to make a hire and to make a coaching change after your first year in a new conference, what you don't want to do is bring in someone with limited head coaching experience because things can turn bad quickly. And I think what they did was someone who was a decision maker there probably looked at it and said, Willie Fritz has been a head coach for the last 30 years on a college level, and he's been very, very successful at doing so. So I think it's one of those situations where you really can't lose with hiring a Willie Fritz. He's probably going to come in and get that program in order, and he's probably going to have them go out there and put a better product on the field, which is, good for them. But I just think it's an experience thing. Willie Fritz, 30 years of head coaching experience. Coach Traylor 4, even though he's been hot. I think the one thing, too, is Willie Fritz has been able to win big games. He's won conference championships. He's won bowl games. Traylor has yet to do so. But back to Traylor and the stuff around him, I just genuinely think that we got really lucky. And I heard some of his comments today during the media day whenever they announced the bowl game destination and things like that. He talked about the rumors and people in the media saying one thing and people in the media saying another thing and that type of stuff. Listen, all of that to me is basically it's a smokescreen. Like, nobody wants folks to know. Like, if we're interviewing for another job, we're not going to go run and tell our boss that we're interviewing for another job, on our day jobs. You just don't do that, right? So, and you just learn to deny it if they do ask you for the most part. There's definitely going to be some people that's going to question his commitment and loyalty to UTSA. I do take him in his word when he says, listen, I love this job. I love being here. And, I think the city has really crowded around him and tried to help just support him in general, even if people aren't handing him money every single time. I think people just like him, right? I think he's very likable, and I think the city loves him as well. Now, he's going to, obviously with him interviewing, there's going to be some people that's going to turn on him. But to me, the way I look at it is, that man went to interview because he ain't got the resources. If he had the resources, I don't think he interviews. I don't think he looks. Maybe the A&M job, yeah, maybe that's one thing. But like, if he had the resources that he was asking for, he's getting paid a lot of money. To his point, he did sign for someone's going to have to pay a buyout and all that type of stuff if he does leave. I just think that, to me, I'm not saying that he wasn't serious about taking these jobs at these other places, but I feel like some of it also could be him putting folks within that front office at UTSA on notice that if you guys don't pick up your efforts, start getting us better resources, you're going to lose one of the hottest coaches in college football if you don't pick up your efforts. It's a wake-up call. I think the people in those offices need to take heed of that, and they need to act accordingly. That means they need to do whatever they can, pull out all the stops, pull out all the tricks in the back pocket to make sure that man gets his resources, because you can't be mad at him if he's not getting the things that he needs to win football games and to attract talent and to keep staff and things like that. If he's not getting that, can't be mad at him for leaving. Can't. So, yes, as I said, it is a wake-up call. I hope that we smell the coffee and act upon this and do whatever we have to keep him here as long as he wants to be here. I think he's building something. He's built something. There's a winning culture, and if we want to continue to be on that winning pace, I think it is time for those folks to get their act together and for folks to donate as well.